You are in the middle of a moment right now. Maybe it happened this morning. Maybe it happened last night. Your child is screaming, your patience is completely gone, and somewhere between the chaos and the noise, you whispered to yourself, I don't know how to do this anymore. And the worst part is not the screaming. The worst part is what you said next, or what you did next. And then the guilt that followed you around for the rest of the day like a shadow you couldn't shake. That feeling is real. And if you have ever stood in your kitchen, hands gripping the counter, jaw tight, heart racing, trying to hold it together while everything around you is falling apart, then this video is specifically for you. Because here is what nobody talks about. Parenting is not hard because you are doing it wrong. Parenting feels impossible in those moments because nobody ever gave you a calm, simple, honest roadmap for what to actually do when the storm hits. And today, that changes. Let's start here. Picture this. It is the end of a long day. You are exhausted, you have been running since before sunrise, and your child out of nowhere completely loses it over something that seems absolutely tiny to you. Maybe it is the wrong cup. Maybe it is the wrong shirt. Maybe they cannot find a toy. And instead of being able to calmly handle it, your whole body floods with frustration and you explode, or you shut down, or you say something you immediately wish you could take back. And then comes the spiral. Because now your child is more upset. And now you feel guilty, and now you are questioning yourself as a parent, and now you are lying awake at 3 a.m. running through everything you did wrong, and wondering why you cannot seem to get this right no matter how hard you try. That spiral is not weakness. That is what happens when you are running on empty without the right tools. Here is something that completely changes the way you see this. When you are in a heightened emotional state, your brain actually shifts control away from your logical thinking center and hands it over to your survival response. In other words, when stress spikes, the part of your brain responsible for thoughtful decision-making goes quiet. You literally cannot think clearly when you are flooded, and neither can your child. This is not a character flaw, this is biology. But here is the powerful shift that thousands of parents have already made. Once you understand this, you stop blaming yourself and you start building a different system. And speaking of building a different system, if you want to go even deeper and get a full, structured approach specifically designed for parents in these exact moments, we have programs linked down below in the video description that go into everything we are talking about today and far beyond it. These programs have helped real parents completely transform how they show up for their families, and they are not going to be available like this forever. Most people who need this most will scroll right past it and wonder why nothing changes. Do not be that person. Now back to what you need right now. The first thing that shifts everything in a stressful parenting moment is what we call the regulation bridge. Before you can connect with your child, you have to first connect with yourself. Sounds simple. Is genuinely life-changing when you actually do it. When you feel the flood coming, the anger, the overwhelm, the urge to react fast, your single most powerful move is to pause for 10 seconds. Not forever, not dramatically, just 10 seconds. Breathe from your belly. Feel your feet on the floor, drop your shoulders. This is not just mindfulness fluff. This is you literally interrupting a neurological pattern and giving your brain a chance to come back online. Parents who do this consistently report that their children begin to mirror the calm back to them within 60 seconds. 60 seconds. That is not a theory. That is what happens when a regulated nervous system meets a dysregulated one. Calm is contagious. Now here is where it gets even more interesting. And this part tends to stop people mid-breath. Most of the time, when a child is melting down over something that seems ridiculous, they are not actually upset about the cup or the shirt or the toy. They are communicating something they do not have the words for yet. They are tired, they are overwhelmed, they feel disconnected, they feel out of control in their own small world. And the meltdown is just the signal. When you can see the signal instead of the surface, everything shifts. You stop reacting to the behavior and start responding to the human in front of you. Here's what that looks like in real life. Instead of raising your voice or issuing a threat, you get low. Physically lower yourself to their level. You soften your face. And you say something like, I see you. You are really upset right now. I am right here. That is it. That's simple. And parents who have made this switch describe it as the moment the whole dynamic in their home changed. Not in a week. Not after months of therapy. In that moment. Now let's talk about the guilt, because you deserve to have that addressed directly. You have carried it for a long time. The guilt about the moments you lost it. The guilt about the words you said when you were stretched too thin. The guilt about not being the parent you pictured yourself being before all of this felt so hard. And here is what I want you to hear clearly. That guilt means something important. It means you care deeply. It means you are paying attention. It means you are not okay with staying the same. But guilt without a new skill is just suffering. And you have suffered enough. The parents who transform their homes are not the ones who feel the most guilt. They are the ones who take that guilt and channel it into learning something new and then applying it consistently, even when it is hard, even when they slip, even when they have a terrible day and have to start over again the next morning. The consistency is the key. Not perfection, consistency. Let's talk about what your home actually looks like when this clicks. When you have built the habit of regulating yourself first. When you have learned to read the signals beneath the behavior. When your children feel seen and understood even in their worst moments. The house gets quieter. Not because everyone is suppressing themselves, but because there is less need to escalate. Your child starts trusting that when they fall apart, you will be a safe landing place instead of another storm. You start sleeping better. You stop replaying your worst moments every night. You start having more of the conversations you actually wanted to have with your kids. The small ones. The ones at dinner. The ones before bed when they finally open up about something real. Those moments multiply when there is safety in the relationship, and you stop feeling like you are failing every single day. That shift, from feeling like a failing parent to feeling like a present, connected, capable one, is not just emotional, it changes the entire trajectory of your relationship with your child. Research consistently shows that children who grow up with emotionally regulated caregivers have stronger resilience, better relationships, and significantly better outcomes across nearly every area of life. You are not just fixing today, you are shaping who they become. This is the work that matters most. And it starts with one calm moment in the middle of chaos. One breath instead of an explosion, one soft word instead of a sharp one, one choice to be the regulation instead of the reaction. These small moments compound, and over weeks and months, they build something that no amount of yelling or guilt or exhaustion ever could. They build trust, they build safety. They build a bond that your child will carry with them for the rest of their life. If you are ready to stop reading the same parenting advice that never actually helps in the heat of the moment, and you want a real structured approach that gives you the exact tools for the exact situations that break you down, then check the video description right now. The programs linked below are built for parents who are serious about changing the pattern, not just surviving it. This is the kind of support that genuinely shifts families. It is there for you, but only for the parents willing to actually take the step. Most people will close this tab and hope things get better on their own. You already know that is not how this works.